Assalamu alaikum, namaste, hotep, shalom alaikum, peace. This is Tracy Lene Muhammad out for my breathing in good air walk where I take some time to just be grateful, walk with gratitude, talk with gratitude, release some issues if they come up. Look at all of the hawks above me. Well, you can't see them, but the other day in front of my house, there were like 40 hawks circling around and, stopping in the trees. And I felt honored because I understand that the hawk energy is about perception and how I'm perceiving things. And in this time where we are being asked, and in some cases forced to stay a distance of one another, I hope that we don't begin to fear one another or to think that being around another being is a death sentence, because it's not. Yes, this is real, and yes, it is taking the lives of people, and that's very serious. And I agree with a mass shutdown to reset. I'm hoping, though, that in this reset, we each take inventory of the things that don't serve us and we release them. Today is a new moon. And if you follow cycles of the moon, then you already know what to do. It's all about manifesting new things, new ideas, new businesses, new thought processes. The full moon is the time to release. So now would be a great opportunity, and especially while you have all this time on your hands, to sit in contemplation and meditation of exactly what it is you want to be your legacy, your blueprint, make a blueprint to your legacy, so that this planet can be blessed with the gifts and the talents that you have. There's no being on this planet that isn't made from amazingness, regardless of what they're acting like now. Amazing is in each of us. I even say those souls that have decided to incarnate to do evil acts have amazingness in them. It's just amazingly evil. The word amazing doesn't have a connotation of good or bad. It's just the word that means extraordinary or something that mesmerizes. So people can have that, whether they're doing that for the good of the whole or whether they're challenging you. Because I'm learning to live in this space. I posted something earlier and I want to share with you what it was about. I cleanse my house all the time with energy, opening the windows and flushing out energies that don't belong, as sage. And it's kind of chilly today, and I had all the windows up. So my husband's like, it's cold in here. And I said, no, it's not. Leave those windows alone. I'm saging. And you always messing with my stuff. And I'm trying to clear the energy of this house. You won't help me. You blocking me. And I said, I'm trying to make sure everything in this house is flowing perfectly and that the attitude is great. And he said, well, why don't you change your attitude? Because you're yelling at me for being cold. And I immediately knew that I was counterproductive to what I was saying I was doing. I apologized. I shut the windows, and I felt that I had already done what needed to be done, but I accepted my part in it. And I said, I apologize. You're right. Energy shift in the house does start with my attitude. And I didn't come with a good attitude. I came fussing because I wanted to do something my way, the way I envisioned it in my head, and you were in the way. And instead of saying, okay, well, he is home now, he'll be going off to work soon because he's essential personnel, so he has to go to work, and I will do it then. I didn't do that. My ego said, shit, I want to do this shit right now because this is when I want to do it, and to hell with his coldness, or fake coldness as I thought. But I immediately knew that I was in error, and I corrected it, and life goes on. Now, oftentimes when I correct stuff, especially with my husband, because I think your mate is your sparring partner oftentimes. There's the closest person to you most times. So you guys spar with each other a lot. It's like that love to hate relationship. At least it is for us. And I'm learning to recognize when I need to make changes. And sometimes when I'm making those changes, he picks at it, picks the scab, but he can only pick a scab that still has a place where you can lift it up. What I'm learning is to not let him to do that. And some of the scabs have glossed over and the scar tissue is all but not seen. So he can't even get to it. But there are some scabs at some places that I'm learning to not let him pick at. So later, same day, I'm walking by him and he says, I'm surprised all the windows ain't back up. And I said, well, you said you were cold. I apologize for it. I'll just do it later. I knew that he was just trying to pick. I didn't let him. So when you do that, if you have a mate that loves you, usually that's the end of it. They keep picking at you. I'm not saying they don't love you, but they may have some issues they need to work on. If after you apologize to a person, they continue to pick at that very thing. Now, that keeping in mind that you don't keep doing the same exact thing, because if you keep doing the same exact thing and apologizing for it, you're just blowing smoke out your own ass and being very neglectful to people's needs. And at some point, they're probably going to walk away from you unless they're very toxic and like that whole exchange and that whole dance of let's dance back into toxicity. But if you're with somebody that does not want to keep doing that and you don't make the changes, they're going to leave you because they're not going to keep doing that. But I'm learning to grow, as is he, and so that we don't continue to pick on the scabs. As a matter of fact, your mate should be putting the aloe vera on the scabs for you so that they can help you heal them. They cannot heal them for you, but they can assist in it. So while we have all this time on our hands and this new moon, how about you manifest the life you want? How about you take some time, sit down, write it all out without attaching to how it must be. Like for an example, I know that I am an excellent orator and that I have the skills to life coach, to help people transition from this life to the next. I'm good at yoga. I can sew. So I got this blueprint of all of the things that I want to do and that I intend to do, and then I have to work at it. So I'm manifesting those things. You have your own set of things that you need to manifest. And I didn't give you all of them because another thing that you should never do, I gave you the things that you already know I do. Never give all of what you're doing out while you're doing it, because then you give people, naysayers, a chance to throw monkey wrenches in it. And I know you don't want that. So since you don't want that, you can move and work in the silence of your own mind, your own blueprint, and your own timing. That's probably the best way to do it. Maybe have one person that if you need that, hey, what do you think about this? But I would suggest that in the stages of conception, nobody knows. Do you notice that when somebody gets pregnant, they don't even know for a minute to now? That's not altogether true, because every time I was pregnant, I knew the next day after conception. I knew I'm in tune with my body enough, but not everybody's like that. But I knew it, I felt it, but it had to be confirmed. But what I was trying to say is, even the first act of conception is done without the parties that is affecting knowing. So that's something that the universe does. Or if you plant a seed in the ground, you don't see what's going on under that ground until it sprouts up. So perhaps you should do that with your ideas and the things you're doing. I hope that this quarantine is going well for you, that you're not panicking about bills. Don't do that. You say you have a higher power and they take care of everything. Maybe this is testing time. Maybe this is test time. You've done all of the work. Now it's time for the test. Put what you believe to the test. I am not worried about any of those carnal things at all. I'm not worried about contracting the virus, not because I think I'm so such a much, but because I'm doing all I can do. So if I get it, I was supposed to get it and I have to deal with it then. I'm not bringing it up before I have to deal with it. I learned that a while ago. When you bring up stuff and start dealing with it before you need to deal with it, that's just a mess. So I'm almost done with this walk, and I like to take the last 15 minutes of it to kind of just talk to the higher power in gratitude like I begin it. I always wait after about 15 minutes of walking so that I can have a subject, because what happens is the energy tells me, hey, talk about this, talk about that. And so now I'm going to go ahead and finish off this breathing, loving, enjoying life, and hoping that you are doing the same. And if you need any of the services I provide, please don't hesitate to reach out to me. And if your pockets are strained, don't hesitate to reach out to me and let me know that too. The goal, the end goal, is to help as many people as I can, because my blessings come from other sources as well. If you are able to pay, then of course you should pay. But if you're not, you shouldn't be denied services that you need because your pockets are tight. I have a few more masks left, and you would have to pay for shipping. But other than that, if you're not able to pay for them, just let me know. Go enjoy your day. Assalamu alaikum, namaste, hotep, shalom alaikum, peace out to Brooklyn and everywhere else.